You walk into a room wearing something different, something sharp, something that actually fits well for once. And suddenly you feel every single eye on you. Your heart races, your palms sweat. You want to disappear. Here is the brutal truth. You are not wrong about those eyes being on you, but you are catastrophically wrong about what they are thinking. Cornell University researchers discovered something fascinating when they made college students wear embarrassing t-shirts into a room full of strangers. The students thought roughly half the room noticed what they were wearing. The reality? Only about 20% even registered it. This is what psychologists call the spotlight effect. Our brains convince us that we are under a massive spotlight, when in reality, most people are too consumed with their own spotlights to notice ours. But this gets even more interesting. Northwestern University conducted a groundbreaking study where they gave participants identical white jackets to wear. Half were told they were wearing doctor's coats. The other half were told they were wearing painter's smocks. Same jacket, different label. The ones who believed they wore doctor's coats performed significantly better on attention-related tasks. This experiment has been replicated over 40 times with consistent results. What you wear does not just change how others see you, it literally changes how your brain functions. Researchers call this enclothed cognition. Think about that for a second. The clothes on your body right now are affecting your cognitive performance, your decision-making, your confidence, your capability. This is not some fluffy self-help concept. This is neuroscience. Now here is where it gets uncomfortable. When you start dressing better, your brain goes into panic mode. You feel like a fraud. You feel exposed. You feel ridiculous. And you know what? That feeling is completely normal. Your brain is hardwired to keep you safe, and safety means fitting in with your tribe. When you dress differently, even if it is objectively better, your primitive brain screams danger. I am Daniel, and this is Man of Elegance. If you want to transform your style into actual power, if you want to learn how elegance opens doors that talent alone cannot, hit that subscribe button right now and turn on notifications, because what I am about to share will change how you see clothing forever. Let me tell you something that nobody wants to admit. In business settings, a man wearing a suit is perceived as more professional, more trustworthy, and more competent than someone in casual wear. Period. Is that fair? Maybe not. But is it reality? Absolutely. Research shows well-dressed men earn an average of $250,000 more over their careers compared to poorly dressed counterparts. $250,000. Think about what that money could do for your life, for your family, for your freedom. And people want to tell you that clothes do not matter. That is financial suicide disguised as authenticity. First impressions are formed within 7 seconds, and some research suggests it takes just 1/10 of a second to start determining traits like trustworthiness. You do not get a second chance. Your clothes are speaking before your mouth even opens. The question is, what are they saying about you? Here is what happens when you commit to dressing well. The first week is torture. You feel like everyone is staring at you, judging you, laughing at you. Your buddy from college makes a sarcastic comment about your fancy new look. Someone at the office asks if you have a job interview. Your brain wants to retreat back to safety, back to the hoodie, back to invisibility. But then something shifts. After a few weeks of pushing through the discomfort, something remarkable happens. People start treating you differently. They hold doors open longer. They ask for your opinion in meetings. Strangers make eye contact and smile. Your clothing choices eloquently communicate your level of professionalism, attention to detail, and the respect you have for a given environment. And here is the part that nobody tells you. It is not just about how others see you. When you wear clothing that aligns with competence and authority, your brain actually makes you more competent and authoritative. You walk differently. You talk differently. You make decisions differently. The confidence is not fake. It is biochemically real. Research indicates that 7 seconds is all it takes for people to form a solid opinion about who you are. In those 7 seconds, they are making assumptions about your income, your education, your social status, your reliability, your intelligence. Fair? No. Reality? Yes. Now let me address the elephant in the room. You're sitting there thinking, but Daniel, I do not want to be fake. I want to be authentic. Here is what I will tell you. There is nothing authentic about letting society judge you based on lazy clothing choices. Real authenticity is having the courage to dress in a way that matches your ambitions, even when it feels uncomfortable. Think about it. When you were younger, learning to drive felt weird, playing an instrument felt awkward, speaking a new language felt embarrassing, but you did not stop because it felt strange. You pushed through because you knew the skill was valuable. Dressing well is no different. The discomfort you feel is not a sign that you are being fake. It is a sign that you are growing. Social anxiety often leads men to stick to safe, familiar-style choices out of fear of seeming too styled or inauthentic. They avoid bold colors or patterns to avoid drawing attention. They rely on the same few outfits for years, fearing judgment if they change things up. This is what style experts call the style rut cycle, and it is killing your potential. Let me share something personal. When I was younger, I was not always the refined person you see today. I did things I am not proud of. I made choices I regret. But one thing I learned, the world does not care about your potential. It cares about what you present, and if you present mediocrity, you will be treated as mediocre. Period. Here is the strategy that works. You do not go from t-shirts to 3-piece suits overnight. You make small, strategic upgrades. Start with one piece that elevates your entire look. Maybe it is a properly fitted blazer. Maybe it is leather shoes instead of sneakers. Maybe it is a quality watch. One piece, master it. Let your brain adjust, then add another. Enclothed cognition research shows that clothing affects thoughts, decisions, emotions, motivation, and expectations. But here is the critical part. The context must match. You cannot wear a lab coat to a classroom and expect the same cognitive boost as wearing it in an actual lab. This means you need to dress appropriately for the environment you are in while still elevating your presence. Think about the actors you admire. Think about the musicians, the entrepreneurs, the athletes. When they show up to important events, are they wearing sweatpants? When they are negotiating deals, are they in hoodies? No, because they understand that clothing is part of the performance, and life is a performance whether you admit it or not. You know what separates successful men from everyone else. Successful men understand that every single interaction is an opportunity, every meeting, every date, every social gathering, and they show up prepared. Your image is your introduction, your silent story. Make it count. Let me address another objection I hear constantly. But Daniel, I am uncomfortable in dress clothes. Of course you are. You have spent your entire life in athletic wear and denim. Your body is not used to structure. Your brain is not used to formality. But discomfort is not the same as wrong. When you wear uncomfortable clothes, your body and mind are under stress, and that reduces efficiency. This is why proper fit is non-negotiable. Clothes that fit correctly feel better than clothes that do not, regardless of style. Here is what the research shows. Positive social feedback loops from good dressing create measurable mental health improvements. When you dress well, people treat you better. When people treat you better, you feel better. When you feel better, you perform better. When you perform better, you achieve more. When you achieve more, your confidence grows, and the cycle continues upward. But when you dress poorly, the opposite happens. People dismiss you, you feel invisible, you perform below your capability, you achieve less, your confidence drops, and the cycle spirals downward. Anxiety over clothing is the normal condition for most people when making decisions about what to wear. The difference is that successful people push through it. Now let me tell you about status. People love to pretend that status does not matter, that we live in some egalitarian utopia where everyone is judged purely on merit. That is a comfortable lie. Timeless items like a structured blazer can elevate your status and project an image of success. Status opens doors. Status creates opportunities. Status gives you leverage. And before you tell me that caring about status makes you shallow, let me ask you this. Would you rather have the power to help people or not? Would you rather have the influence to make change or not? Would you rather have the resources to take care of your family or not? Status is not about ego. It is about effectiveness. Here is a framework that works. Before any important situation, ask yourself, what is the dress code one level above what is expected? Then dress at that level. If the office is business casual, you wear business formal. If the event is casual, you wear smart casual. Always one level up, not two, not three, one. This positions you as someone who is going places without making you look try hard. Historically, taking a strong interest in clothing has been coded as frivolous and feminine, and men who diverge in their fashion choices are often seen as not fitting in. But times are changing. The younger generation is approaching fashion with considerable openness and much less anxiety. They understand that style is a skill that can be taught and learned. And here is the beautiful irony. Once you master dressing well, it becomes effortless. Your closet becomes a tool, not a problem. You wake up, you know exactly what to wear, and you move forward with your day. No stress, no anxiety, no decision fatigue. Style routines and grooming habits serve as effective tools for reducing anxiety and decision fatigue. Let me tell you what happens 6 months after you commit to dressing well. That embarrassment you felt at the beginning? Gone. That self-consciousness? Disappeared. Instead, you walk into rooms and people notice you for the right reasons. Conversations flow easier. Opportunities appear from nowhere. Doors that were previously closed suddenly open. And the best part? You stop caring about what random people think because you are too busy benefiting from the doors your appearance has opened. The spotlight effect fades, not because people stop looking, but because you stop caring. You have become the person your clothes suggested you were all along. Most people are too focused on their own affairs to notice or care about your clothing choices for very long. But in those critical first 7 seconds, they notice everything. And that is your opportunity to make an impression that lasts. Think about every major figure in history, every president, every CEO, every icon. They understood the power of presentation. They understood that leadership is partly performance. And they dressed accordingly, not because they were shallow, but because they were strategic. Here is what I want you to understand. The humiliation you feel when you start dressing well is temporary. The benefits are permanent. The discomfort lasts weeks. The advantages last a lifetime. You can endure a few awkward comments from people who are threatened by your growth, or you can spend the rest of your life wondering what could have been. We are in an era where business casual has become the new uniform, and where a Zoom-ready appearance plays a pivotal role in shaping professional perceptions. Even the casualization of dress codes does not eliminate the importance of looking put together. If anything, it makes standing out easier because the bar is lower. Let me be direct with you. Every day you wait is a day you are leaving money on the table, opportunities on the table, relationships on the table. You are letting your discomfort cost you real, tangible benefits in your life. And for what? To avoid feeling slightly awkward for a few weeks? When you dress with care, you show up more fully, not just for others, but for yourself. This is not about impressing anyone. This is about becoming the person you are capable of being, about having the courage to present your best self to the world, even when your brain is screaming at you to play it safe. The men who succeed in life understand something fundamental. Perception is reality. Fair, no. True, yes. And you can spend your entire life complaining about how unfair it is that people judge you on appearance. Or you can spend 30 seconds putting on a blazer and watch your life transform. If you enjoyed this video and you want to become a man who commands respect the moment he walks into a room, hit that like button. subscribe to Man of Elegance, turn on notifications. Because the content I create is designed for men who refuse to settle for mediocrity. Let me recap what you learned today. The spotlight effect makes you think everyone is judging you, but research shows most people barely notice. Enclothed cognition proves that what you wear literally changes your brain chemistry and performance. The discomfort of dressing well is temporary, but the benefits are permanent. First impressions happen in 7 seconds, and your clothes are doing most of the talking. Small, strategic upgrades work better than dramatic transformations. Status and perception open doors that talent alone cannot. And the men who understand this simple truth dominate in business, relationships, and life. The choice is yours. You can stay comfortable and invisible, or you can endure temporary discomfort and become invincible. You can dress for who you are today, or you can dress for who you want to become tomorrow. You can let your clothes hold you back, or you can let them propel you forward. Before you go, leave a comment with these words if you enjoyed the video. Dress with power. Just those 3 words, dress with power. It helps the algorithm and it helps me know you are serious about this transformation. And if you want to take your support to the next level, consider becoming a member of this channel. For just $4.99 per month, you get exclusive content, behind-the-scenes access, and direct input on future videos. Click the Be a Member button to join the club. Your support allows me to keep creating content that actually changes lives. Remember, fashion is not luxury. It is power, and power is not given. It is taken. By men who have the courage to stand out, by men who refuse to blend in, by men who understand that the world rewards presentation as much as substance. Be one of those men. Until next time, stay sharp, stay sophisticated, and never apologize for demanding excellence from yourself. This is Man of Elegance, and I will see you in the next video.